Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures off-road review of this 2022 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. As you can see, it's got some very large remote reservoir Fox shocks there in the back. Good amount of wheel travel. Look at that wheel travel. Barely off the ground there, almost at the very top up there. But the front passenger side was starting to lift, so that was as articulated as I could get it. Pretty much completely stuffed. If you have more weight in the bed, I might stuff just a hair more. And fully extended here, almost, and almost fully compressed up here. But it's a little bit light on this side still. On the the front end's up higher, a little bit lighter. So not fully compressed, but close. Awesome suspension, especially for traveling over rough roads like this that are kind of maintained, but not really. But they're not so rough that, big boulders or anything. But yeah, overall, this thing, let's get into it, see how it does. All right. Wish I could crank the Metallica. I'm going to turn off traction control and stability control. Just holding it down, see if it does that. Because it did hit the brakes on me on my way up. I am in four-wheel drive high right here. And let's see how it does in the high speed section. So we're just over 20. It does ride just a bit stiffer than I remember the last Tacoma TRD Pro riding, but it totally handles all of this no problem. I'm over 20 miles an hour. This truck has the perfect spacing to hit that bump hard, perfect wheelbase I should say, and it did. And man, it's just going along no problem here. Yeah, it's almost like, yeah, I'm bouncing around a bit inside the cab, but no fear of bottoming out the shocks or topping out the shocks at all. Like, this thing's just eating it up. It loves that. So I didn't drop below 20 that whole time. It was closer to 22 to 25 through most of it, with a couple of small sections down around 20. So anyway, that was excellent, as I've come to expect from the TRD Pro products. They seem to do really well at driving along at higher speeds on these rough dirt roads.
We can see here in four-wheel drive high with traction control on that it's able to make the climb quite easily. It lifts the wheel, you can see the brakes stopping the wheel from spinning, transferring power to the wheels that are on the ground and have good traction. Now we see with traction control off that there is a lot more wheel spin, and this is exactly what we want to see. When we disable these systems, we want the engine to be able to rev freely and the tires to be able to spin without being braked, and that's exactly what happens here. In four-wheel drive low, stability control and traction control are automatically disabled, so we should see a similar result here as we did in four-wheel drive high, with a decent amount of wheel spin. The difference is I was on a slightly different angle, and it balanced the weight a little bit differently and was able to make this climb a little bit more easily. Here, I believe I had traction control on, but it doesn't look like it. So this is probably two-wheel drive with traction control off, the way the wheels are spinning, and either that or the system is much less aggressive in two-wheel drive than it is in four-wheel drive.
All right, I was trying to figure out what to show you guys. All the multi-terrain select, crawl control, and rear diff lock are up here. I think you're gonna miss out on that, so you can see the road, see the steering if any dash lights pop up or whatever. Four-wheel drive high right now, and just normal. So if you were to be driving around as you normally would after you start the truck, just flip it to 4 high. That's the mode we're in, taking the hardest line. Definitely does not have the new ABS system that the Tundra has. Don't push me off the trail. Having the cameras is still kind of nice. There is a rock right there that I like to avoid because it's quite large. But in order to make the breakover without hitting anything, I like to turn sideways. So 4 high, it can definitely do it. There's quite a bit of wheel slip going side to side and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and see if I can do... Nope, I cannot. So crawl control is not available for 4-wheel drive high. Let's do the gearing test. So 4 low, we're gonna lock, we'll leave the rear unlocked at first. Lock it down into first gear, and hopefully that passenger side won't scrape right here. I'm on the brake still. This one is without crawl control or anything. It's just me driving it 4 low, first gear down the hill. And we're gonna hit the big hole, and the other corner driver's side now should drop into that. So I just felt the rear wheel come off the ground. Front driver's sides might have been. And now get lined up so we can just let it go. So it's about 5 miles an hour, a little bit faster than I want it to be, but it's doing okay. And because of the off-road capability of this thing, I don't have to worry about approach angle nearly as much as I do in other trucks. Now, let's go back to 4 high. And I believe, nope. So the multi-terrain select is also only available in 4 high, or sorry, 4 low on this vehicle. So the new Tundra does have some drive modes in 4 high, but the Tacoma does not. So what we're gonna try here real quick is turning off all the traction control and stuff. Get up to here first. So traction control and electronic stability control are both off now. It has like an anti-rollback feature. When you start rolling backwards, it throws the ABS on, but it's a little bit late. So some of them have the hill hold, and as far as I know, this does not have that. But okay, these are pretty deep ruts right here. There we go. And it is just letting me rev to the moon. So next up, 4 low, and 4 low automatically turns off your traction control and all that stuff. And so this is if you just put it in 4 low and did nothing else. Let's see what it can do. I do like that it brings up this, well, these views rather, and the pitch and roll. So there you go. Again, in 4 low, you don't get all the traction control stuff. So we're gonna hit the multi-terrain select, and we'll start with mud and sand. It allows for a little bit of wheel spin. Ah, that thing's jerky. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that same spot just because the amount of time that I have. And we're gonna go all the way over. Now we are in rock mode. So mud and sand is the least aggressive. And then you have loose rock, mogul, rock and dirt, and rock. So now we are in rock mode, and we'll see how much more aggressive. It's way more aggressive. So it stops wheel spin nearly immediately. And we'll take this one all the way up. I like that. So in four-wheel drive low, it disables all that electronic braking and traction aids and all that kind of stuff. I like that because there are times when you want that, and especially with a rear locker. So now we're gonna do crawl control going down. It's even when I'm turning, it's picking up the wheel speed difference while I'm turning, because the outside wheel goes faster than the inside wheel, and trying to use the crawl control to compensate, or the rock mode to compensate for that. Okay. This time we're doing crawl control. Sorry, I'm getting all sorts of confused. So we have crawl control, and it looks like it disabled the rock mode. Anyway, it's going to take care of everything by itself. And we're in the lowest speed setting, so I'm just in drive. I'm just going to let the truck do its thing. I can't wait for the new updated system that's in the Tundra to be put into the Tacoma, because that's quite aggressive. And I guess I was pretty much on flat ground there at the beginning, and this system prefers to be on a hill, so it's much more controlled here on the hill than it was on flat ground. But noisy as can be, there's nothing to worry about. It knows what it's doing, and you can see right there it's monitoring all the wheels, braking them independently, and making sure the truck stays at the speed you set it at. So we're past the worst part. We'll go up one speed. And now we'll go all the way up. So even at the highest setting, I'm going slower than I was going by using engine braking alone. So we're gonna turn that off, because there we go, crawl has been deactivated. Go ahead and flip it around, and we'll ascend it using crawl control, and then we'll do just the rear locker, which is my preferred method. Okay, crawl control. Well, let's just go as fast as it'll go. And then we'll slow it down in the technical spot, but Still have to steer. Again, the nice thing about this truck is the extra clearance, the approach angle, departure angle. This hill's nothing crazy. I mean, it's not extreme rock crawling or anything, but it's tough for a lot of vehicles, and it just isn't that tough in the Tacoma. And man, the cab sure was creaking. So that is the second highest speed there. That was at the highest to start. We're gonna reverse, and this actually works in reverse as well. Let's go up one speed. So you saw how it went through that. Basically no wheel spin. This system, it works so good, but I can't wait for the updated spherical valve ABS system that's in the Tundra to get moved over to this thing. So now we'll go up as slow as it'll go. The reason I'm doing this is the slower you go, the more difficult it is. You don't have any momentum to carry you through. And you see it right there, it actually stopped for just a second while it figured it out. I don't know if you guys saw that German short hair go running by. It may not have been German short hair. Anyway, there's a puppy dog running around out here. Okay, you can see how much more difficult it is to do that in the lowest speed. Again, crank it up to 2. We'll go to the middle one, go up to 3 here. This crawl control is so slow. I think at the fastest speed it's like 3 miles an hour, so pretty awesome. That's, if I were using crawl control, that's what I would want. I don't like all these off-road cruise controls that are going 20 miles an hour plus, because if I'm using crawl control, I really just want it for little, really rough, tough sections where the wheels are going up and down. Or the other really good thing about crawl control is in sand, and you can do this especially if you've got locking differentials. You can do it on your own. Just barely spin the wheels so they're just barely moving. They'll kind of just pull the sand underneath you and help you climb out. I'm sure you've seen Toyota's demonstration of that, but that is an excellent use of crawl control. Let's see, it is multi-terrain select. There we go, turn that off. So now we're just in 4 low, which turns off all the electronic stuff, the braking and all that. But I have tried to lock the rear diff. Let's see if we can get it to lock. There it goes. Okay. And sometimes the gears just don't line up and you have to turn the wheel to the side so that you get a differential between the two axles on the rear axle shafts for it to lock. So we are locked. I'm just gonna try and crawl this as slow as I can. It's already been performing great, no slippage or anything, so. Super easy. And this is the mode that I prefer. So it's all mechanical. You just lock the rear. You don't have any electronic aids jumping in and messing you up. It's just exactly how you want it to be.
I use crawl control here to try and go as slow as possible, and you can hear the system running, and also look at how it rocks the truck. Crawl control likes being on an incline or being stuck in order for it to work properly. When you're on fairly flat ground, it does this. On my second attempt here, you can see the TRD skid plate up front. Everything's tucked up nicely, skid plate over the fuel tank, and the exhaust is about even with the frame. It's up above the leaf, but below some sections with the frame. And overall, everything's tucked up nicely and protected.
Thank you for watching Engine Adventures off-road review of this 2022 Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. Beautiful truck, electric lime, incredibly capable off-road. Crawl control does its thing. It's still noisy in this vehicle. In the new Tundra, they switched that out and made it pretty much silent. Love the new system in the Tundra. Can't wait for it to come here. But the big thing on this, throw it in 4 low, disable all the electronic aids, lock up the rear diff, and you're pretty much good to go. The suspension, amazing on this thing, and just a wonderful off-road vehicle, and it did a little better on-road this time. So overall, really enjoyed my time with this 2022 Toyota Tacoma. If you liked what you saw, be sure to ring the bell so you get notifications. Well, subscribe first, then ring the bell. And comment down below. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever it is, but comment and let me know why. Let me know what vehicles you want to see, what tests you want to see. If you enjoyed the video, if you want to see towing or fuel mileage videos or whatever, I'll try and cater what I can. This one I don't have a lot of time with, but in general, I'll try and cater my videos to what you guys want to see. And thanks again for watching. Have a great day.